Hello YouTube, Takes Cake Tech here. Today I want to go into a little bit more depth on Windows 10 deployment, how to speed them up. I know in some of my other videos I mentioned Ansible, I've mentioned PPKG files, which I made a video on, and I'll link here. But this video will be about Ansible, which I haven't talked about yet. Probably be a few parts to this video. I'm going to show you in this first video here how to install Python. I guess that's wrong. How to set up Python in Windows 10 with Ubuntu. So the first step to get Ubuntu and Windows Subsystem for Linux installed is by enabling it. So I'm going to open up Programs and Features here, and we're going to go or Programs and Features, and then we're going to turn Windows features on or off. So in here, you have a whole bunch of stuff. I believe we'll talk about Hyper-V later, but that's a good one to have. But we're going to want to enable Windows Subsystem for Linux. And then you might need to reboot, but just make sure you click that. This will be the first step. Second step will be opening up the store. And then search Ubuntu. And then I just have this one here, so I'm going to launch it. Once you get your Linux set up, you'll likely have to set up a root password. Make sure you remember your root password. I had to delete a video because I thought I forgot mine. And then we're going to do sudo apt get upgrades. Sudo, wow. The Linux guys are really going to tear me up for that. And then we're going to upgrade. And you'll want to do this first. So I'm going to let this run here, and we'll come back when it's done. You don't have to install upgrades. I like doing that. It can take a while. I didn't actually finish it, but I had done that previously. Let it just run overnight. So this is from their Ansible documentation here on installing Ansible on Ubuntu. So we're really just going to go down the line and do all these here. So this one will take a while. Well, it only says a minute, but I'll stop the video here. This one you do need to run though, because this will, without doing this in this Windows 10 environment, I've seen issues where you can't install Ansible. So just make sure you do updates. All right, we're going to keep going down the list here. That just finished. We do want to continue. Now we're going to do add repository. All right, and then the last step here is to install Ansible. I already had it installed, I believe, so this will just overwrite it. So now we need to install pywinrm, which is a part of the ensure the downstream packages, which is just talking about making sure that our host has these installed. So the most important one, the only one I've ever had to install, is pywinrm, and this is installed through Python using pip. So pip install, I believe, and I could be wrong. Pip, wow. Whatever. There we go. So it's going to install pywinrm. We'll just go down the list here and make sure the rest of these are installed too. I already had my environment set up, so this is just, like I said, maybe getting a new version or overwriting it. Now we're going to install GitHub, or Git, I guess, which allows us to pull packages from GitHub. You're going to want to use Git. It's a lot easier in the Ansible environment. There are some guides how to get to the folders and copy paste stuff there, but it's a lot easier to use Git. So I found this How to Forge article on it. We'll want to paste, you can just paste it right out of here. This will download here. While this downloads, I'll kind of explain and maybe show GitHub here too. So I'm going to open up GitHub. I'll link to my GitHub as well, where I will put some of these Ansible playbooks. I haven't figured out which in this video, but I will figure that out shortly. that'll be in the next video where we go about installing and setting up the provisioning or the playbook for Ansible. Can't think right now. Excited, but so we'll go into depth on that in the next video. This video is just going to be setting up the environment, and while this downloads, we'll see what it's doing here. I'll show you. So here's some of our stuff here. This is the one I have, Ansible Dev. This is where I was just testing some roles, and this is actually probably be the playbook that I use, or the Ansible project that I use to show you. I'll fill out some roles here. We have some stuff that we might need to delete though, so yeah. This is just something good to do too. I believe this is what it shows up when you do a push. And then we'll add the global config, our email here. This might be needed for some repositories. I don't believe it is if you just have a public one. And we'll do my email. And that's the initial setup here. A lot of this stuff just talks about creating new repositories. It'd be good to read this, creating a README, do git pushes, git pulls. I'm not going to go too into depth with GitHub in this series. If there are questions about it, I will go into it in the future. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.